Hello everyone, this is Paul Bertorelli reporting for Aviation Consumer and AVweb. In a previous video we took a quick look at the HK36, which is a Diamond's motor glider that's being reintroduced to the North American market. In this video we're going to take a detailed look at how it performs as a glider. The motor glider looks like a DA20 Katana. It ought to. The HK36 predates the Katana and was the basis for the DA20 trainer. Two engines are available, the 100 horsepower Rotax 912 or a 115 horsepower turbocharged version. Both swing composite full feathering props. Physically, the airframes are similar, except for those long glider wings. The HK36 span is 54 feet, so it's not going to fit into a standard T-hanger. The wings have to fold. That takes two people about 30 minutes. The interior is standard DA20 quality. It has comfortable seats and rudder pedals you can adjust, but the seats don't slide. As you can see, the canopy has a sliding sunshade and it needs it. It can get warm in the summer. The panel is basic VFR only, no glass, just a radio and GPS options. Although it doesn't have a lot of power, it does have a lot of wing, so the HK36 gets off the runway and climbs like a U-2. It doesn't take long to get to soaring altitude, where Diamond's Andy James and I leveled off for some maneuvering.
We're climbing out at 60 knots indicated, and we're going to clear some clouds, see if we can find a little bit of lift, shut the engine. We're leveling off in powered flight at 3,000 feet. We're going to experiment with gliding flight. Now, the HK36 has a glide ratio of 27:1, which puts it just above the middle in performance for gliders. It's much better than a trainer, but certainly not in the category of a world-class 60:1 soaring machine. As far as picking up lift, it does have a audible sensitive variometer. I'll show a picture of that here. And that gives you some indication of where the lift is. Today we're somewhat in post-frontal conditions, so there's not a lot of unstable air around here. Very little lift, some of it under the clouds, but not particularly good soaring day here in Florida. Throttle comes back. Prop comes back into feather. At the same time, you shut the ignition off. And there we are with a feather prop and a stop prop, and then we're going to descend just a bit, stay below 3,000. We go from power flight to soaring mode, and that shuts all the electricity off. We're running on a battery-powered intercom here. And then we're going to trim up for just a little bit below 60 indicated. And that is the equivalent of best glide in this airplane. Variometer is finding a little bit of lift. We'll make a right turn, see if we can stay in it. If we're not finding lift, we're at least not finding a lot of sink. Because where there's lift, there's usually sink somewhere. Okay, we're bringing the engine back. Prop forward. Back to power flight. Back to power flight mode. And then crank the throttle. And away we go. Got the engine back. Now, like all gliders, the HK36 has a spoiler system. In this case, it's a two-position spoiler system, and the handle is on the left side and the right side cockpit wall. And by pulling the handle this far, you get 500 feet, and then if you pull it further, you get up to 1,800 feet, depending on how much descent rate you need. We're coming into the pattern here. On a glider, because you have so much glide ratio, you don't really need to fly a tight pattern because you can get fairly far out and still make the runway pretty easily. But nonetheless, we're staying close and flying a nice tight pattern. And for the approach, we're going to fly it just like a glider. Airplane is at zero thrust, fairly tight turn to final. And since we don't have flaps, we go to zero thrust, and we use spoilers to control the angle of the descent. A little bit of a crosswind today, and once we touch down, we'll get the spoilers all the way out, and that nails it, sticks it on the runway.
As you can see from this video, the HK36 behaves pretty much like a powered airplane when the engine is in use. It's a little heavier in roll and a little heavier in pitch, but it's pretty much like a Diamond DA20. Now, in pure gliding flight, it's not like a high-performance glider. At a glide ratio of 27:1, it's better than a trainer, not quite as good as a world-class soaring plane, but you can certainly teach yourself gliding in this airplane. It'd be suitable for that kind of dual purpose. It's very much a compromise. You can find out more about the HK36 at GreatLakesDiamond.com. I'm Paul Bertorelli reporting for AVweb. Thanks for watching.